Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of the 1% Code Podcast. We are in season 3 with focus on physician entrepreneurs. I'm Dr. Melva, your host, board-certified radiation oncologist, serial entrepreneur, and I am helping physician entrepreneurs scale their income by helping them to navigate entrepreneurship. I am so happy to welcome my friend, Dr. Renee Matthews. I'm going to let her introduce herself because I could not do her justice. I reached out to Dr. Renee. She did a post, I think it was around trading, and I was like, oh my God, I hear you when I go to any doctor's office. I see you on the videos. I recognize your voice. I'm in your inbox. I want to learn from you. And then we just connected. I learned so much from her. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the podcast. One of my first interviews for physician entrepreneurs. Welcome to the 1% Code Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I am Dr. Renee. Yes, I have a last name, but I don't use it. But I'm Dr. Renee. And I tell everyone I am a medical doctor, but I educate the masses. So my office is the world. So I educate the masses via media. So I talk about health on TV, radio, print, and online media. So like she said, I have a show that's in doctor's office waiting rooms. It's in 45,000 offices across the country. It's called Out of Office with Dr. Renee. So if you're sitting in the waiting room and the TV's playing, more than likely my show may pop up. And then I've also heard that I'm in some cafeterias of hospitals, and I saw myself in the waiting room of the Walgreens clinic once, which was really crazy. But yeah, I've done blogs, I've done magazines, I've done all sorts of stuff, but I always talk about health and wellness because if you do not have your health, you have nothing else. You don't have to worry about going to work. You don't have to worry about finding a babysitter for the kids. You don't have to worry about paying your bill. You have to worry about nothing if you do not have your health. So my hashtag is live life you deserve, because I just want everyone to be happy, and I want everyone to live the life they deserve, because we all deserve to be happy.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, welcome to the show. So let's go back. So the reason I wanted to really focus on physicians and entrepreneurship is that we as physicians, everyone didn't decide up front they wanted to do entrepreneurship. So I want to know a little bit about your story, because you're different, right? You knew what you wanted to do when you went into med school, or at what point in your journey did you decide to do this route?
So I knew that I wanted to be Dr. Nancy Snyderman. Yes, she's a white Jewish woman, and no, I am not. I am not white nor Jewish. But Dr. Nancy Snyderman was on Good Morning America when I was a child, and she would always talk about health. And I knew that I wanted to be a doctor, but I specifically wanted to be like her. Now, of course, I knew nobody that did that except for her, and I didn't know her. And my mom, who actually is a medical professional, my mother is a respiratory therapist and was the director of respiratory and ECG non-invasive at Detroit Receiving, which is a level 1 trauma center here in Detroit, Michigan. So my mom was always medical too. She didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody. So we were like, well, and so my resolve was I'll just be an OBGYN, because I really liked that. In kindergarten, we went to my friend's dad's office. He was an OBGYN, and he did a ultrasound on one of the brownies. It was the brownie troop that went. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. And so my fallback was I'll just deliver babies, because we don't know anybody on TV and I don't know how to get there.
Okay, that's a leap, but okay.
I mean, I knew I wanted to be a doctor, but I specifically wanted to be that kind. But since I didn't know how to get on TV to do that, of all of the different, specialties you could pick from, that was the one that I liked.
Okay.
I have severe asthma and allergies, which I'm sure we'll talk about. And so my mother was like, oh, well, you should be a pulmonologist. But I was like, that's boring to me, because granted, I didn't study pulmonology. I had studied it because that was me. Like, I had been a sick kid my whole life. I grew up with allergies and asthma. I did not want to be an allergy and immunologist, and I didn't want to be a pulmonologist. I didn't want anything to do with asthma because that was my everyday. Whereas being a woman obviously is my thing, but OBGYN, I liked babies, but I didn't want to be a pediatrician. I had checked that out in high school and figured out that was not the route for me. As much as I like children, I love babysitting. I want my own children. I love my friends' children, but being the pediatrician was not the hookup. And I didn't like giving the kids shots. And but I also was exposed to OBGYN's office rather early that day in kindergarten, and then back again my senior year of high school. And I was like, this is it. This is what I like. This is what I like. This is what I like.
Right.
Plus, I watched a lot of TV, and I knew I had seen enough and was like, that's what I like.
Okay. So what happened next?
So after, so I went to undergrad, went to med school, and right out of med school, I ended up meeting this man who took me to a radio station and was like, I think if you go with me to the station, you'll end up with your own show.
Awesome.
Okay. And he was right. I ended up walking out with the contacts and I started my show. My show was on XM before they merged.
Okay.
And we were one channel.
And tell those of us who maybe didn't have our show right out of med school, can you tell us about XM and the merge? And
no, I'm talking, that satellite radio. So Sirius XM.
Yeah, tell us more, because some of us just
radio,
get 3 months free when we get a new car. We don't know the history.
Okay. Sirius XM is now it's the digital radio station, network. Whereas before there used to be competitors. There was Sirius and there was XM. And then now they came together and made Sirius XM. But XM was the first one. And XM had a channel that was for medical professionals. Literally, that's who was on and that's who was listening. And so I was on that
thousands of channels. It was just that. I don't even remember that phase.
Yeah. And I was on that channel, and I think it still exists too. We're not gonna say the name of it because they left me a little special. So I did that, and I was like, okay, it was a step in the right direction, but I knew I didn't want to talk to us. That was boring. Like, why? I knew that I wanted to be like Dr. Nancy Snyderman. I wanted to talk to regular people and help them about, talk to them about their health. And I was like, why am I here? Like, why? Really? Okay. So I did that. My last interview was a dream, and I booked it myself, which is part of the reason why I think my producer was salty and started acting shady to me.
Yeah.
I interviewed Dr. Ian Smith.
Okay.
And like I said, I booked it myself. So I was able to contact him, and I did it myself. And of course, that meant they didn't have his contact info. I did, because I did. So they didn't like that. But it was my show too. So, so that was really cool to talk to him, because he kind of had done what I kind of thought maybe I should be doing. And it was interesting to hear his story of how he got there and stuff. So that was cool. So I did that right out of med school and worked my day job and was like, well, hey, if I could get from nowhere to satellite radio, where my family in Antigua and in the UK and wherever they live in the world could listen to me, then maybe perhaps I can actually do what I want to do and be Dr. Nancy Snyderman, right? So that was that. Then after that, at my job, there was some TV opportunities. We were the only public cord blood bank in the state of Illinois. I was the medical educator for them. And when we did public events, they would have the press there, and I would end up speaking for them. And so I was like, okay, I can do this. And so fast forward, I forget what year it was, 2014, I think it was. My business coach, Jay Stone, said, you should really try to work with doctors. I was like, huh? And she said, because you've built this brand that no doctor would know how to do, but you know how to do this. And so you should help them. Before that, in 2005, I had started my entertainment company, Matthews Entertainment Group and Associates, Live Big. Wait, what is it? I forgot our tagline.
Everybody, did y'all hear that? She's so big, she doesn't even know the name of half of her companies. Okay, continue.
Tagline just left. Oh, dream big, live bigger, mega. Okay.
Love it.
So Matthews Entertainment Group and Associates. So that started in 2005, and we were working with entertainers. And so That's what I did. And I did that, like I said, with my full-time job. I did that. Well, then my business coach says you should work with doctors. And I was like, oh. And I was like, okay, I wasn't opposed to it. I was like, this sounds fine. So my first clients were my longest clients, the twin doctors, twindoctorstv.com, I think is their website. But they are two OBGYNs and we did a lot. They were on Amazing Race and that's how I knew who they were. And then my bestie, Dr. Dre, had an event in Chicago and we invited them to that event and they came, and right after that is when we started working together. And we still work together up until last year. So quite a while. But so yeah, with them, we did a lot. They had a syndicated radio segment on Ed Lover's radio show. There was a syndicated radio show that was on Radio 1. They were on HLN. They've been on the Karen Hunter show. They've been on Sway in the Morning. They did a whole lot. But so yeah, I did that. That was great. And while I did their stuff, I did my stuff. Now everything is just my stuff, which is really cool. And now I have a management team that works with me and they do my stuff for me, which is awesome. So I just get to show up sometimes, and sometimes, yes, I still pitch myself, but they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So that's really cool. And then last year I became an author.
Congratulations.
Thank you, because it was a pandemic and people have been telling me I should write a book. And so the books finally got written. So Mommy, I Can't Breathe, The Modern Guide to Navigate Allergies and Asthma. And No, Renee, You Are Allergic. So both books talk about asthma and allergies. The children's book is only food allergies, but it's part of a series. So the next one will be about asthma. And yeah, so the book, Mommy, I Can't Breathe is first half is my story of living with asthma and allergies. Right. And then the second half goes into the science about treatment and symptoms and all of that fun stuff.
Wow. So let me back up. So first of all, congratulations. Your story is just amazing.
Thank you.
Multiple companies, delivering babies, contracts, don't even remember the names. I mean, just amazing. So congratulations. I mean, it's just inspiring. I don't even know if I knew all of that. I mean, I read your bio, I've talked to you, and we can't even get all of that in when we're talking. I mean, We've covered a lot, and I feel like I've talked to you a lot, whether it's in the middle of the night or in the morning. I mean, wow. So you're very inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to go back to a couple of things that you said, because one of the reasons we have a couple of things, we have a lot in common,
right? But
working with doctors, that's been a point for me that also is that pause. Like, we're both physicians. We both wanted to be physicians, but other people have to look at us and say, hey, you should work with doctors. You should work with physicians. I just want to go back to that. Why was that a pause for you?
I didn't pause. I just had never thought of it because I was in the entertainment space. So, we had a rapper that we met at 15 years old that we took pretty far. And then Lady T. And then I did PR for Chico DeBarge when he came out with his latest project, which was like his first project in a very long time. And so I really knew that space.
Okay.
I had really, especially with Lady T, I had really learned a space of, all the different clubs and the different, DJs, and her music played on digital music choice, the channels on cable that play music. I got her music on there. So then it was easy for me to get anyone else's music on there. So other music clients, so I knew that space very well. So I was like, doctors. And they're like, I mean, you're a doctor. Look what you've done with yourself. And I was like, oh yeah. So then I was just like, okay. And, I basically put them in the places that I put myself.
Right. But I think that's powerful. That's why I want to bring that up to you because, and you and I have talked about this, belief. Belief is so important because a lot of us in this entrepreneurial shift, when we're going, especially these high tickets and pitching ourselves, we find ourselves pitching other people, pitching our clients, and making these shifts that we don't always see it for ourselves or for physicians as we're going out in this entrepreneurial world, even when we do it for other people, right? Like you did it for
No, I totally agree. Like when I was like, when I lost my job was eliminated June 24th, 2013. And when it was eliminated, I was like, what am I going to do now? And everyone's like, what do you mean? What are you going to do? You're going to do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
One, I'm working on getting my own talk show. And they were like, okay, whatever you have to do to get the talk show, you need to do that. But in the meantime, in between time, they were like, there's so many things you can do. And so I literally asked somebody, how do I pitch myself to whatever magazine? They were like, Renee, but you've gotten all these other people in the magazine. I go, I know, but that was them. I don't know how to talk about me. They were like, what? I was like, I don't know.
Right. And I think that's the $1 million question. And I was listening to you and I said, man, it's not just me. And, I was thinking if you had to think, why is that for physicians? Is it our education? Is it where in the process do you think that happens for us? Have you ever thought about that?
I mean, I talk to obviously a lot of doctors, and I really think that because a lot of doctors just have one track minds.
Yeah.
And they can't think outside of that track, which I've been blessed to work with some physicians that thought outside of the track. And so we were good. None of them ever looked at me crazy when I said, okay, so you're going to go talk to this person.
Right.
No, None of them ever looked at me crazy.
Yeah.
I represented Dr. Shannon Klingman, who is the amazing woman that created Lumi.
Yes.
And
I have Lumi in my closet, Dr. Klingman. I love I don't know if you did the PR, but I love the commercials where it's
I didn't do that though. So I worked with her at the very beginning, and it was right after I worked with her, she started doing these commercials. I can't watch TV without seeing it. So I'm very excited. It's lovely. I was actually texting her the other day. She's amazing. But she and we went to the Good Housekeeping Institute.
Tell me about that.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like you always hear about it as a child of the 80s, the Good Housekeeping Institute. To be there, it was so cool.
Awesome.
To see like their kitchen and to go into the room where they had like all the washers that they're checking out. You know how they, because the Good Housekeeping Institute has to give their seal of approval.
Right.
They had all the washing machines lined up and dishwasher. Oh my God, it was so cool. And it was in the same building as O Magazine.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Because it's Hearst.
Very nice. But yeah, I think that's a good question. We're just going to have to figure that out. Like where in our, assembly line. So the one track mind. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's it. Like they don't, and there's only a few that seem to, fall off of that and say, wait a minute.
Right.
I don't have to just stick to this.
Right.
Like I'm in a lot of physician entrepreneur groups or physicians seeking jobs, non-clinical jobs.
Yeah.
And it blows me away when people type in, I'm a pediatrician. What kind of jobs can I do? You do whatever the hell you want to do.
Right. I
know they think I'm crazy because I always type in, what is it that you would do for free?
Right.
What do you like?
I like that.
If people, and I mean, that's not just doctors, but people don't realize if you figure out what it is that you would do for free, you could make money off of it. You just have to figure it out. But if you don't, you don't have to hate your job, but people, for some reason, we're trained to think that we have to hate our jobs. I don't know.
Right. Or job is just for money.
Right.
Like there's a million ways to make money, which is what I always tell people. And then it's like, when you're making money, how do you want to make that money?
Right.
Because then you figure out you're making money. Well, I don't really want to do that. That's not how I want to make money. When it's not about the money, like, yeah, I could do money, but I can make money a whole bunch of ways, but I don't want to do that.
Right.
So, but that's a really good point. Like, what will you do for free? Like, what are you doing anyway?
Right. Exactly. You do a whole lot of things that you don't get paid for that you could get paid for.
Right. Exactly. Like my sister
don't realize that.
Right. My sister always jokes with me. She's like, yeah, Melva, you change like, XYZ every 90 days. So why don't you just do a survey or be a trial tester of this product every 90 days? I'm like, you know what? I might just do that. So if somebody needs me to test a product for 90 days, just hit me up. I will try it out because then I'm going to get bored of it after 90 days anyway. That's what my sister told me. All right. I want to talk about your books and your experience with asthma and a little bit more about why you wrote these books. I know it's more than a pandemic that you became an author.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, everyone had said for years that I needed to write. And I was like, if I had $1 for every person that said that, I would be a millionaire, a gazillionaire. And I was just like, you guys act like writing a book is really quick and easy. It's not. And it wasn't. It wasn't. And I have 2 more that I need to write, and I just haven't started because that's how fun it is to write. There's a quote, and I have it here. It was so good. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Supposed to have it memorized. I'm doing awful with remembering it. There it is. I don't like to write. I like having written. I forgot who said it. That is me.
I like it.
So, I have severe asthma, like I said, born this way. And I'm in a whole bunch of allergy groups on Facebook because, like I said, everyone said the first book needed to be about this, and they said I need to write a book. So I got in all these groups on Facebook, and the same thing I kept seeing was all these parents who were like, oh, Johnny has 2 allergies. We can't travel. Oh, Johnny's allergic to this. He can't go to school. Oh, this. We haven't eaten this in 10 years because Johnny's, I mean, all these crazy things. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, well, maybe if I tell people my story, then that'll help them to realize it really is not that big of a deal. I'm allergic to a lot of things, more than 2. I'm more like close to it's not exactly the top 8 because I can eat eggs baked in things, but I can't eat eggs. Like scrambled eggs, omelets, etc. But I'm allergic to wheat, rye, barley, citrus fruits, chocolate, nuts, eggs, seafood. And I can't smell seafood cooking either, on top of not being able to eat it. So I tell everyone I've done just fine. I've lived overseas for, I think it was 3 years I lived overseas. And I lived literally on an island for 2 of those 3 years. And I survived. Seafood was everywhere, but I survived. And I travel, and I don't travel with a suitcase full of food.
Right.
I eat. Right. My family eats everything. I am the only person allergic. So at my house, yes, I don't have any of my allergens for obvious reasons. I live alone. It's just me. But my parents' house, my sisters, wherever I go, everyone has everything I'm allergic to, and I'm okay with that. And I grew up like that. Like my parents never eliminated the foods out of the house. They just eliminated Renee from eating them. That was it. So my mother still made seafood. My dad is from the islands. He's from Antigua. There's no way he was not going to eat seafood. My dad ate seafood. My mom, she just figured out, oh, well, she's allergic to the smell of it. I'll cook it in the garage. The air will pass it right on through the garage. Renee, don't come through here. I can sit there while you're eating it. It's just I can't smell it cooking. Strange. I don't know why. I've never felt like figuring that out. But I do know the baked egg thing is because the protein changes when you cook it. When you bake it in something, that I do know. But yeah, I couldn't believe what these people were doing to their children. I even read one lady who never told the kid what he was allergic to, but the school knew. Elementary school child. I was like, that's dangerous. Like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And I don't think anybody would advise you that was a good idea. So that's why I wrote the book, because I really wanted to help parents to understand that their kids can live really great lives. They're not confined, because you had parents having anxiety and crying. And I still read them today. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's not that deep, And so that's why I wrote it, because I wanted them to understand their children can live really fulfilling lives. A lot of people say my life is pretty fantastic. I tend to think it is, I'm not.
Sounds like it.
I did 22,000 miles, I think, in 2019 before the world shut down in the air. And that's just flying from hither, thither, and yon. So I fly. Like, people are like, oh, we can't get on the plane. Why not? And especially in this day of masks, oh my God, saving grace. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Put that mask on and just go to sleep. Nothing to worry about. I'm not allergic to airborne nuts, so that's not a worry of mine. I am not somebody who tells the people, oh, I have that. I don't tell anybody. I just mind my own business. I'm in my chair and I don't bother anyone. There was a man one time who we were in first class, and he decided he didn't want to sit in his seat. He wanted to come sit next to me. And I'm just like, and then he went to open the nuts. I go, I really think you should go sit in your seat. Because I'm like, And then I think the flight attendant came and had to move or something. I was like, thank you. Cause I was like, Lord, that man go reach over and touch my chair. And next thing you know, I touch it and we all in trouble. So no, just sit where you're supposed to sit.
So let me ask you this. So the book,
Mm-hmm.
do you have an implementation guide, or are these parents able to read it and then you have a workshop, or how are they gonna?
I don't, and
I have your book on my bookshelf. I bought it.
I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
remember. I appreciate
I bought your book. If you guys don't have Dr. Renee's book, get her book. You need her book. And we have the second book. And I saw the testimonial from the mom. She was almost in tears reading the second book. That was a wonderful video. That was on Amazon. I believe you shared. Yeah. Well, tell me about the second book, and then I want you to get back to
the second book, the food allergies. So unfortunately, in this day and age of hateration America, God bless our country, the children are bullies. You have 3, so I'm sure you know this. Children have been bullying, and the bullying has gotten to food allergies. So Johnny finds out that, Abby is allergic to whatever and throws peanut butter at her.
Wow. But
the children don't understand that that's deadly. Right. And quick story, a lady in one of my Facebook groups, her daughter, when she was younger, 6 years old or something, had an interaction with this little girl. The little girl threw something at her she was allergic to, blah, blah, blah. They told the school, da, 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 da. The family ends up moving, and the other family ends up moving too, whatever. Do you know they end up in the same city again at 16? And this idiot, who knew who she was, obviously, right? Wow. Threw something at her again, and this time put the girl in the hospital. And now, because she's 16, she is facing charges of attempted murder.
Oh no.
But that's the truth. That is exactly what she did. You knew better. You know what I mean? You knew exactly what you're doing. So that's why I wrote this book, because it's for ages 4 to 8-year-olds, because if we can teach them younger about food allergies, and then they can understand that these kids, there's nothing wrong with them. They're normal kids. This is what's, they might get sick if they have these foods. And make it a normal conversation piece. I think that we could help eliminate the bullying, and the kids will be okay. And then also, because of course the book's about me. So Renee has a friend in here who was kind of an advocate for her. And so maybe somebody who doesn't have food allergies sees somebody in their classroom, and then they could be that person for them to say, because in the book, I went to a birthday party, and of course my mom, when I was younger, my mom made my little treats that I took to birthday parties because I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat ice cream at the time. Goat's milk ice cream is what I ate back then. And then I never could eat birthday cake. So my mom would make my little special cake that had no eggs in it, whatever. And so, the little boy was explaining to the other kids why my cupcake was different, blah, 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 blah. So, that's why I wrote the second one.
Okay.
And so that's why it's a series.
These books, where can we get these books distributed?
You can get them everywhere the books are sold, or you can go to my website, and I have really cute No Renee, You're Allergic bookmarks that I'll send you if you get that one for your little
What's
friend.
your website? We're going to put it down below the podcast.
AskDrRenee.info is my website. Okay. But each of the books, the titles are their own websites, and they have all the links to the Target and all these places you can get them. But mommyican'tbreathe.com, and then NoReneeYouAllergic.com.
Okay. Okay. Yes. All right.
But
first one more time, and we're going to put that under the podcast. We want to make sure everybody gets those books.
Yes. MommyICan'tBreathe.com, NoReneeYouAllergic.com, AskDrRenee.info. Okay. But yeah, that's why I wrote them.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So, I can't help myself, but what's next for these books? Because, I have a couple ideas I have to share with you on the 1% Code podcast. But do you have plans for these books next?
So, like I said, I have 2 other books I'm trying to write. So I need to write. So I'm not really, we're still moving with these books. Obviously, I'm actually speaking at FAIR, Food Allergy Research Education Summit. Good. So obviously that will be food allergies. My sister and I have a cooking show that you can see on my YouTube channel. Everything with me is Ask Dr. Renee. So you look at my channel, Ask Dr. Renee. More importantly, go to my sister's channel, Foodie Engineer. She needs the subscribers. But so in the kitchen with Dr. Renee and Chef Alicia, Foodie Engineer is Chef Alicia. She's Foodie Engineer, aka Chef Alicia Nicole. She is making allergy-friendly foods. We made potato salad with no eggs. We made brownies with no chocolate. We made French toast with no eggs.
Awesome.
We did some amazing things. We made birthday cake with no eggs. We did some amazing stuff. So
are we shipping these out? Can I get these in Virginia? How can we bring these to us?
It's a cooking show. So
we have to learn how to do this at home.
Yes, we show you, we gave you the recipes, all that great stuff is there. So we did that with Fair. And so my sister is actually going to be on the stage at the conference doing a cooking demo. Mm-hmm. And I'll be on stage, of course, talking about living with food allergies. But I'm also now working with the Allergy and Asthma Network, which is an amazing resource. If you have a child with allergies and or asthma, allergy and asthma at allergyandasthmanetwork.org. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see all of my lovely little videos about allergies and asthma, but I've been working with them. And so I will be speaking at the Global Food Allergy Summit with them. Wow. And then I will be speaking at the U.S. Asthma Summit. Wow. And I also was on a TV show called Balancing Act that's hosted by Montel Williams. Yes, that Montel Williams. And we talked about asthma and COVID with the CEO of Allergy and Asthma Network. So that's what I'm doing with the books, is that I'm spreading the word. And I mean, books are available for bulk orders. So if you're in your office and my allergist bought a nice bulk order of books of the Mommy I Can't Breathe to have for his offices. And Fair has purchased several bulk orders of No, Renee, You're Allergic to hand out at community events. So yeah, I'm really excited about the bulk orders because it gets to more people that may not have been able to get the books in their hands. So I'm excited about that. No, Renee, You're Allergic is the first of the series, Dr. Renee and Friends. So the second book will be about asthma, so that kids can understand, because I had an inhaler and nobody else in the school had one when I was little. No one else had food allergies either. Now it's a little more common, but still to have the conversation and teach kids how to treat people, and also maybe recognize if, somebody has trouble on the playground and needs help. So I'll write that one next. But yeah, that's really, that's these two. And
just an inspiration, Dr. Renee. We're going to have you on for part 2, because goodness, we just can't even fit this in for a part 1. This is just amazing. I think next we need to have you in a whole curriculum in the school systems. I think the book.
Well, honestly, I actually sent an email last week to a school system and tried to see about getting in the school, because not try. Well, I sent and said I'd like to come in. I would, I've read the book. I've read No, Renee, You're Allergic to several schools, including the school that's in the book, which is my elementary school. I went there and read it to several classes, and that was great. But I would definitely like to get in the schools to teach the faculty and the students as well.
This is saving lives. This is physicians, like you said, outside of the clinic. You were making a difference, and you just light up when you talk about this. Like I can see that inner child. I see the adult. this is working with doctors. Like this is a physician. This is why physicians need to be entrepreneurs. You are an example, and I
totally agree.
Any last words? Because I know you're busy. I can see you about to just get ready. What's next? You're about to be on a stop crew. You're about to do the global.
The
9 stops.
Allergy. Yeah, I have three speaking engagements for the next 3 weekends. So Food Allergy Research Education Summit. Then I'll be at the Global Food Allergy Summit, and then the Wealth and Wellness Experience.
Okay, awesome.
The Wealth and Wellness Experience.
We're going to do the code for the 1% code podcast listeners, right?
Yeah, so if you type in Dr. Melva, you'll get 10% off of the books.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was a pleasure. I have a whole page full of notes, and I know people that have kids and, asthma and allergies. You are changing lives in so many ways. It's a pleasure to know you.
Thank you.
I'm excited. So, and I'm reading, you had Tune Day on there, the Speak. So I have your book on my shelf, and Speak. I got to, meet her. I need to get back on the bike. Yes, that is a moving book.
Speak was excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
But if you have any listeners who have, groups with children like Jack and Jill, or, I'm actually volunteering with the AK Teens in our chapter, but, any groups like that, I would love to come and speak to the kids. specifically about food allergy and asthma, but I also obviously speak about other things as well. So
right.
Like the wealth and wellness experience, I'll be talking about managing stress, because it's great that you've made all this money, but I'm sure you've heard stories. People make a whole lot of money and then they die the next day after they retired, which is just awful. But when you don't take care of yourself, this is what happens.
Yeah, this is what happens. And we know we want to live and really, live and serve a happy life. So thank you so much for joining. So many nuggets. Thank you guys for listening to the 1% Code podcast. Dr. Renee, Ask Dr. Renee. Follow up with her, guys. This is a pleasure. Physician entrepreneurs. This is physician entrepreneurships. We talked about belief. Renee, if you don't believe in yourself, I don't know who else will. If we get stuck anymore on our WhatsApp or online chats or talks, we got it. We got it, Doc. Like if you're not doing it, I don't know who else is. We have to believe in each other, physicians, because it's only up from here. Physician entrepreneurs, we have to do this. We have to focus. Like my dad says, this is season 3 of the 1% Code podcast. I appreciate you guys listening. Until next time.